What's up, fellas? Coming at y'all today with another TAHLM bout. And today's TAHLM bout is dedicated to the one, the great, the only aCid bAth. God, that was cringy. Now, aCid bAth. If you didn't know, they are my favorite band of all time. And I'll explain that in a little bit. And also, I gotta... hold up. Right there, I got pagan terrorism tactics framed. Because the fucking depressing, for whatever reason, and I've heard multiple complaints about this, that the pressing on it is dog shit. Like, it skips and repeats all the time. But yeah, let's talk about aCid bAth. aCid bAth they're not active anymore. If I was thinking of an umbrella term, I'd put them under sludge, primarily. But they were extremely, extremely experimental. They incorporated noise and psychedelia and death metal, black metal, grindcore. They mix a little bit of everything. That's why I appreciate these albums so much, is because they're so dynamic. My favorite aCid bAth album is the Pagan Terrorism Tactics up there. But let's start with a little bio. I don't remember exactly what year aCid bAth formed. I know it was in the early 90s. But, they came through with a demo that I wish I could own. It might be on YouTube, I don't remember. But yeah, before aCid bAth is a combination of like two bands. One was Golgotha, and I don't remember if Shroom was made before or after. Well, not after, because Adi died, but okay, let's say aCid bAth is the combination of Golgotha, a really raw sludge metal band, and Worm, Shroom, that were a really experimental stoner metal band. So these two bands converge to create aCid bAth. Now, I've already done a review of this guy. It's actually like my most viewed video at the moment. But yeah, this was their first full length from the Kite String Pops. And it's fucking amazing. I mean, it's an underground cult classic. Now, how I got into aCid bAth, back in the early years of this decade, I was an admin of a meme page. And we talked about music a lot, and I said something like, recommend me something that sounds like Planet Caravan from Black Sabbath. And one of the suggestions was aCid bAth, and I looked them up. The first song I saw, it's their most popular one, was Scream of the Butterfly. And at the time I was like, nah, I'm not feeling it. But then I gave the song off Pagan Terrorism Tactics, Pagan Love Song, I gave that a whirl, and that was a fucking jam. Now, about aCid bAth's relationship with YouTube. They have this cuckold, stupid, incompetent record label that forbids aCid bAth on streaming services and YouTube. I mean, they think they're saving money, but they're just fucking themselves over. Because when I was discovering these songs, they were on YouTube, like, but they all had such little views. That's why I was thinking, like, man, aCid bAth, this is some obscure fucking band. And then a few days later, they were all gone. Then, like, a few months later, they were all back up. And I started to realize that it was their record label that kept on taking them down. I mean, for God's sakes, put them on Spotify or something. I know they're on iTunes, but make it accessible. I feel like aCid bAth would be way bigger and way more remembered and respected if it wasn't for their shithead label Rotten Records. Fuck Rotten Records. But yeah, that was my introduction, Pagan Love Song. And then I kind of went from there. I eventually uh listened to, well, I had the record label were forcing me to pirate their music. I had to illegally download both of their albums because there's no fucking streaming services. They're not barely on Amazon. Their store's really expensive. I mean, aCid bAth need exposure. That's why they need to be on streaming services. I wish I could take the people from Rotten Records and just pummel their face in. Not really, but but yeah, fuck Rotten Records. Music wise, this is probably the most dynamic. You got songs that are rock and roll, you got songs that are straight up sludge, you got songs that are straight up doom metal. Even two acoustic cuts, just really amazing. And the shit's catchy as fuck. Sammy Duet, one of the guitarists, I mean, they're fucking madmen. Like, it's chaos, it's animalistic, it's brittle, but it's so fucking catchy. And that's probably what I like most about it. And then Mr. Pagan Terrorism Tactics up there, I almost want to say that they're trying to go more commercial, like the song Venus Blue, for example. I could see that shit on the radio if the lyrics weren't so vile. But yeah, I think Pagan Terrorism Tactics, it's a little more mellow. I mean, there's still animalistic and crazy songs on there, but it's mostly just, I'd say it's their stoner metal album. Cause you got shit like Pagan Love Song, you got Grave Flower, you got Bleed Me an Ocean, you got New Death Sensation. Those are all like stoner metal tracks, I think. And then like 13 Fingers, I'd say, is their like grindcore song. And just a bunch of other shit. But the reason why it's my favorite, it's kind of biased, but I just have way more memories attached to the songs off Pagan Terrorism Tactics than this guy right here. Because I remember, God, like I attached the songs to girls that I was dating, so it's a little hard to listen to Pagan Terrorism Tactics because I've permanently combined these memories to these girls that I used to date and shit like that. But yeah, it's just really fucking good. The vocalist Dax Riggs, underrated as fuck. He can scream like an animal, and yet he has such a great singing voice. I almost want to say his voice is like grunge inspired. I mean, it was from the 90s, so that's kind of a given. Like, I could see Dax Riggs in a fucking grunge band. Then you got the rest of the members. You got, so there's Dax, there's Sammy, There's fuck. I don't remember the other ones. God, I'm a fucking idiot. Something Sanchez. Please don't watch this video. Mike Sanchez and Jimmy on drums and the late Audi on bass. That was basically the thing that broke up aCid bAth, was the death of their bassist Audi. There was rumors of a third album existing called Killer Rat Poison, I think. I think it was finished, but only like a very select few got it. So there are some people out there with a fucking third aCid bAth album, and I envy them so much. But I don't know what else to say. I mean, they're so experimental and they play with a little bit of everything. All especially I think the drums are the most underrated aspect of aCid bAth. The drummer's fucking insane. And like really crushing songs like The Blue and Dr. Seuss is Dead is just fucking amazing. Like I can't it's hard to describe how good they are, but yeah, I got them on my knuckles, you know. So you know it's real shit. Talking about lyrics, aCid bAth's lyrics tend to be either on the gross and edgy side, and then there's the dark and poetic side. And I like both sides of the coin. They both do their jobs well. They're both well executed. I also on CD I have it's not the aCid bAth demo, but it's old demos of from When the Kite String Pops and Pagan Terrorism Tactics. Um those tracks are pretty cool, but I gotta give it to the studio work. There's not much else to say really. It's just a fucking amazing, underrated band. They should be way bigger than they already are. They could have been way bigger than they are if it wasn't for their cunts at their fucking record label. Like, one of my dreams, if, like, I become a millionaire or something, is, like, to buy the royalties of aCid bAth from Rotten Records and then just putting them all streaming platforms and watch them grow huge. I just don't understand Rotten Records' logic when it comes to this shit, but I don't know. Dax Riggs, he also is a part of a few other projects post aCid bAth, like Agents of Oblivion and Dead Boy and the Elephant Man and his solo shit. Which all those you should definitely check out because they're all amazing. But that's all I got for this video. Coming down the pipe, I am going to try to review more, continue more vinyl shit. But yeah, that is aCid bAth. They are the greatest sludge metal of all time, and call your grandma today.